Well, when we heard about Bob's plans to preach on Ephesians, everyone was excited because it's such a rich book. And someone suggested we ought to inform all our small groups because they might like to coordinate their schedules, their time together, so they could follow along and make the most of the series. And then someone else said, well, there might be people who aren't in a small group who'd like to dig deeper during this series, so couldn't we make it possible for them to participate? And then someone else said, why don't we create a bunch of temporary groups just for this series? People will love that. They like the Bible in 90 days so well in those groups. They'll love this option. I'm sure people will participate. And so already some of our existing groups have said that they're going to focus on Ephesians for that time. And now we are recruiting hosts and facilitators for new groups, temporary groups that will meet at various times in various places all over the area. And we're going to kind of publish a list of what all these groups are so people can sign up for them starting the weekend of July 21st and 22nd, which is about 1 month before the series starts on August 18th and 19th. So the groups will want to meet for the first time right before August 8, that week before August 18 and 19. Not a great time, middle of August. Some people are still away, but if we're going to cover the whole book before Christmas, that's when we need to start. And so we're going to make the best of it. Well, it doesn't matter if people miss the beginning of it or can't make some of the sessions. They'll benefit even if they can only come half the time. But this is really good stuff, and I think people will want to do the whole thing. We have a great study guide by N.T. Wright, and it's only $6, so people can get that and stay with it even on weeks they can't make the group. We hope everybody will have one of those study guides because it'll really help go deeper. Well, Ephesians, it's only, I think it's like 5 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4.5 pages in my Bible, and we're taking 13 sessions to cover it. So not very much reading each day, maybe half a page or less. So easy amount of reading. It's a short book, but it's a really meaty book with plenty to chew on. And since we're spending 13 weeks on it, we can really go deep on it. And I think people are going to like that. We just breeze through so quickly on the Bible in 90 days. This time, we can sink our teeth into it. That's great. We are really excited to see how God is going to use Ephesians to enrich the individual lives of the people in our church family and all of us as a community. It's going to be an exciting sermon series. It's a great time for all of us together, and I hope that everybody in the Lake Grove family will be a part of it.
Well, as you just heard Pastor Greg say, we're engaged in this wonderful journey together with Paul's letter to the Ephesians. We're going to be studying it, preaching it in small groups on Sunday morning. I just want to encourage you to be part of that. Ephesians is one of the most important letters in the New Testament. Next to Romans, Ephesians is the other letter of Paul that outlines the whole concept of what it means to be a church. We're going to see how God has acted to save us in Jesus Christ, what it means to belong to His body and have different gifts, how we serve Him out in the world, how the church comes together to make these things happen. All of this is part of what Paul writes about in the letter to the Ephesians. This is going to be a 13-week series, and I want to, again, encourage you to be part of it in several ways. Get involved in a small group. As you just heard Greg saying, we're going to have these 13 weeks of groups with study guides. We're going to wrestle with the material, ask questions of it, and then come and be with us on Sunday morning or Saturday afternoon as we deal with that particular text you've been studying in the context of worship together. That'll bring it all together, I hope, for each of us. I look forward to this. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for me to grow in preaching And I know it's going to be a great opportunity for each of us as we let the Scriptures engage us. Paul's letter to the Ephesians. Looking forward to seeing you this fall.